Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Coyne, founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring, where we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. Almost every gym around the world had to close their physical location due to the coronavirus epidemic. Some gyms are even reopening. Gym owners had the choice to do nothing or quickly pivot overnight to a virtual platform. After talking to hundreds of gym owners on free calls over the past few weeks, it has become so clear what gyms are doing who had a great retention rate while moving to a virtual platform. There are two pieces of the puzzle gym owners really need to think about: individual support and community engagement. Gyms using the HSN platform were able to pivot quickly and provide their clients the support they needed to help them find a new normal, like the gym owner and nutrition coach of Cobra CrossFit, Jill and Meredith, who are our guests on the podcast today. Meredith has actually picked up nutrition clients since moving to a virtual platform, and she is not the only one. Today, we are diving into how they built a nutrition program that is truly the foundation of Cobra CrossFit. Jill and Meredith have a great working relationship, and I want you to listen for how Meredith gained momentum with nutrition-only clients. Right now, this is a huge opportunity for gym owners. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business Podcast. Today, I'm so excited to have Jill and Meredith from Cobra CrossFit. Guys, welcome. First time we have had 3 guests on the podcast, so this is going to be really fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys. I know times are crazy right now. You guys are working more than ever, so thank you for taking time out of your day to jump on. And I know this episode is going to inspire some people to really build an amazing nutrition program. So Jill, why don't you talk to me a little bit about the gym and kind of your background, and then we'll dive into Meredith.
Yeah. So I am the co-owner of Cobra CrossFit. I actually started CrossFit way back in 2010. I was in the Army for 13 years. And while I was deployed to Afghanistan, I kind of found CrossFit. And it helped me in so many different ways with that particular job. Fast forward, I got my CrossFit level 1 and started coaching. And actually, I was diagnosed with PCOS and started gaining some weight. And CrossFit and basic nutrition and zone kind of stuff that CrossFit taught is kind of what helped me start to kind of control that and understand that a little bit. But it just helped grow my passion for fitness and for overall health. And then in 2017, I joined the Cobra CrossFit team as a coach. And it did not take long to figure out that I could help on the business side of things. So I became a partner, and that's kind of what got me started with Cobra. And since then, we've moved into a giant facility, 10,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
We've taken our membership base from about 120 when I first got there to over 200 now. And then we started diversifying. And that's kind of how I got introduced to HSN. So we diversified, added nutrition, added personal training, added a boot camp that has been tremendously successful for us, and really kind of helped us hone that our mission is to just help people find health and wellness, no matter what their passion is, and we can be a fit for them pretty much no matter what. So
amazing. I think that's a big piece of the puzzle, right? Like you're going to cap out at how many people you can put in classes just doing group. But when you are looking to really build a brand and expand additional sources of revenue, you have to add other types of services, right? So adding
Absolutely.
PT, boot camp nutrition. So you get introduced to us, you start implementing nutrition. Then Meredith comes along about 6 months ago. And Meredith, let's hear, your background and what your role is at Cobra Command, and how you're killing this nutrition program.
Perfect. So just a quick background, because my background could get lengthy, but I actually have a background. I'm a dental hygienist by trade. I've been a dental hygienist for 21 years. And so I've always been in the business of helping people with health, because dental health is just, part of the equation. So helping people with health has always been a passion of mine. And I started teaching yoga, in 2006, and just aerobic classes and stuff, and just really enjoyed that environment. And then I found CrossFit in 2013 after running marathons and half marathons. Honestly, I realized I just really enjoy lifting weights and throwing heavy things around. But my story is a little unique, and I share this with people because I want them to know that I really do truly understand some things. But I have struggled with eating disorders my entire life, and being in CrossFit actually is what helped me overcome that and help me get in a good place, and realized that food was more fuel for me and not my enemy. And so I started actually working for an online nutrition company in 2016. And that's about the time I started I got my level 1, my CrossFit level 1, and then I moved on to my CrossFit level 2, and then really started working with people in the gym and people around me at the gym I was at the time, and doing nutrition. And it was so rewarding. I have such a passion for nutrition because I've seen it change people's lives. And I've had people tell me this is life changing for me. This is, and it's amazing to see that. And so I got I've got my level 2 and my USAW and all these certifications. And it was honestly just the right time in my life. I was looking for something different. I was only coaching a couple classes a week at the gym I was at, which I still love, but I needed something more. And I was looking for a way to expand. And I've cut back on dental, and I'm only there 1 day a week. And just to kind of be my next career, my next life. And because I'm so passionate about it, and I just love helping people. And so there was an advertisement for Cobra Command, and it's funny now because I guess Jill told me that she just hadn't taken it down yet. And I happened to send her a message and apply. And honestly, we were talking about it before we started the podcast. We created the dream team. It was the minute I met her, the minute I met the other owner, Vince, I knew that we could do great things. Like, I felt it. It was just one of those connections that you're like, okay, this is where we can do great things together. And so I came on, I guess it was in September, end of August, beginning of September. And we dove right into the nutrition. And how I started it was I started by offering it to the coaches. I told the coaches, I'm like, all right, hey, I'm going to do your nutrition. I won't charge you for it. Let's see what we can do. And honestly, it's just exploded. So
I think that is so smart to start with coaches, right? Like, they're your poster children. If they're seeing good results and they're going through the program as clients, they're going to be able to express what it's like from a client's perspective and be able to talk about it from experience rather than you telling them what bullet points to say. So I love the fact that you did that. That's amazing. Talk to me about some of the other unique things that you guys have done. I mean, you're utilizing HSN to help you with the framework, but you guys have really kind of taken the program and ran with it. What are some other unique things that you guys are doing to build nutrition with your existing members?
Well, Meredith, if you're okay with me jumping in first.
Perfect.
So I'm going to start. It's a little bit more background, but it'll get to the point. So before we came on with HSN, well, really came back to HSN because we'd been with you guys a while back, and then we took a hiatus and came back. We had been working with RP, or Renaissance Periodization diet, to do some challenges in the gym, and people had seen success with that. So our member base was very familiar with macros, and we had a ton of interest in athletes who wanted to mass or put on muscle mass. So one of the very first things I told Meredith off the bat was, if you can equate how CrossFitters measure and track everything to using macros to measure and track what you put into your body, we'll be able to kind of come to this bridge of getting members started. So because that's what they were familiar with, that's the language we used to start with. And we had a couple coaches who lost weight and lost body fat, but then we had a couple people who massed right away too. or put on muscle mass. And then it really, and that was like right away, like Meredith's first 5 clients, I would say probably 2 were muscle mass and 3 were weight loss. But that just showed like, holy crap, this works. And they know what they're talking about.
Amazing.
And that's what I tried to do. It's why I went into the coaches first, because I just started talking to them right when we met them. And Jill did that too. Before I really even came on, she said, hey, you need to talk to Meredith. And I had him reach out to me. I maybe had been there a week or 2. I think I'd just done kind of my shadowing with the classes. I hadn't even really started coaching yet, because we just, shadowed just to kind of see how, they run class and all that. And I don't think I'd even really started coaching yet. And I had a couple of them reach out to me. And, but yeah, that was, I think, the biggest, because then I used them, and I did it for free. I didn't charge the coaches. And the reason I did that is because I know what the kickback for me is going to be. I hate the word kickback. I'm sorry. But what the benefit for me is, because they're my advertising. Mm-hmm. And then once we started advertising their results, and we just did like 4 weeks. I think David did 4 weeks and Nathan did a couple of weeks. And we just kind of threw that out there. All of a sudden people are like, I want those kind of results. Mm-hmm. And then it just has just kind of it just goes from there. So I do a macro-based nutrition program. There's a couple of things that I do very different, I think, than a lot of people, but that we can get into whenever you want. But the first thing that I do is I meet with people and I do a free consult. When I do a free consult, I give them basically everything that they need to know except the plan that I'm going to put them on. I do their in-body scan. I go over their in-body scan in detail and what it means. And then I would say 90% of the clients that I have worked with, and most coaches, if you're listening to this and you are a nutrition coach, you would probably agree with this, but I would say 90%, it could be closer to 95, people that come to me are under eating. And I mean, it's way under eating. And even people that have a significant amount of weight to lose are way under eating. And so I talk to them about that, and I look at their basal metabolic rate, and I talk to them about what that means and how under eating is harmful, and how as a society we can diet our way to obesity. That's something I always bring up, is that, people want to lose weight, so they do something extreme that's not sustainable, and they'll lose weight, but then they can't sustain that, and they gain all that weight back, usually plus some. And I get out a whiteboard and I draw this out for them, and I'm like, okay. And then they go on something else and they lose some weight, but not as much as before, and then they gain it back. And like, I show them the curve up, that we can diet our way to obesity when
they diet chronically, right?
Right. And then I talk to them about macros, and I talk to them about meal plans and how to, make the meal plans that I use with HSN, fit the macros that I would give them. I don't give them the plan or the macros yet. I kind of, I just talk to them about what macros are and how much protein that they need to be looking at, and how many, how much carbs that they need to be looking at, and how, fat. And people, that's the thing that people don't realize, is a lot of times they think they're overeating, but they're just overeating one macro. Mm-hmm. They're usually way under on protein, but personally, I find it's fat. People are way over on what they're recommended, what they should be on, fat or carbs. So I just kind of talk to them about how we work and how I use the meal plans and, their recommended macros and how all of that fits. And I just explain it to them, because a lot of times they know, a lot of times they don't know. But I just inundate them with information, not to overwhelm them, but so that they understand I'm educating them as I go, and that they have a real value. I know that people talk about no sweat intros no snack intros are usually 20, 30 minutes, but mine always end up being an hour. Mm-hmm. But at the end, I've told them all these things. I'm given examples. I pull up a meal plan from HSN. I show them my Fitness Pal. I show them look here, you can click on this recipe right here, and you can click on this in the meal plan, and it brings up the recipe, and it brings up, and it's right here, and you can pull this up in my Fitness Pal to log it. And, I show them all these things. I show them what to look at on my Fitness Pal, and I really talk to them. I get to know their goals, and I get to know their I make what they're struggling with, and I make myself honestly relatable, because I usually can relate to whatever they're whatever they're trying to do. Or if it's something different, I usually have a client that I've worked with that I can do. But anyway, when I get to it, I get down to it, and I'm at the end, it's honestly, it's not even a sell. It's okay, when are we starting? And they're usually like, okay, tomorrow or today, or like, I mean, it's just like, honestly, sometimes I don't feel like I'm I'm selling it, because I'm so passionate about it. And I give them so much information and tell them, what I'm going to do for them with accountability and everything else, that that at the end, it's a no-brainer. I go in with the thought that they're signing up at the end of this. If they've come to me, they want help. And so that's how I go into the beginning of an intro, is that they want help from me, and I'm giving it to them. And then I'm like, all right, so when are we starting? And then they tell me, and I'm like, all right, let's get you your plan, and we go.
So it's kind of like a hybrid of the no snack intro or the free intro and initial consult. Like Meredith we've just found that that's what works, is that hybrid. Like, yeah, we're going to come in, we're going to talk about our plans and what our prices are, but really what she sells is what she can do for that individual.
I mean, people, no matter what kind of plans you give them, like, it's a piece of paper at the end of the day. If they don't have the accountability and the follow-up, like, it's going to be tough for them to stick with it. And the fact that you're giving them so much information, they're probably like, I really need your help to be able to take this information and put it into a usable format, and someone to keep me accountable to that, right?
Yeah. And right now, in the current situation where a lot of gyms have transferred to online coaching, there's buzz around the word coaching. And what does coaching mean? Well, that's what separates us from just a meal plan, or that's what separates us from just programming that you can buy online. Coaching and the accountability and the knowledge to get after your goal is what we're actually selling. That's the difference between us and other people.
And I would continue that. And I do something that most nutrition coaches probably don't do. I have daily contact with all my clients.
Oh, wow.
Not just weekly, not just, once or twice a week. It's through text message or, message, app message or whatever, but I have daily contact with them. And sometimes it's short, and it's not, hey, you're doing great, nice job, but I have daily contact and follow up with them. And honestly, that's the difference.
How much do you charge for nutrition coaching with daily contact for all of your clients to be able to make it worth the value of your time, right?
Probably not enough, honestly.
Well, yeah. So I think we start at $179.
Yeah, 69
is our $169 is our lowest onboard price, and then it goes up from there. But that's another thing that kind of relates back to online coaching is, and Meredith has given us an opportunity to test it before we were forced across the board into online coaching, but blocking time and planning when you're going to reach out to people so that it isn't all the time and it isn't a massive tax on you every single day. And I think really what Meredith, when you say you daily contact people, it's not always you reaching out to them. A lot of times it's you just have them sending you weight, or you have them and you're acknowledging back. It's not necessarily like a full on conversation. It's just that accountability factor and that acknowledgement.
Yeah, they know I'm looking. And if I don't hear from them for a day or so, then they know they're going to get a message from me like, hey, what's going on? Where you at? So that's what I tell them. And honestly, I think that's what sells it the most is that coaching and that actual nutrition coaching, and not just handing someone a plan. Now, we do have these transformations that we do that we just give them a basic meal plan, and we do an in-body, and then we follow up at the end, and we don't do a lot of contact in the middle in between, because there's some people that come on and they're like, oh, that's all I need. I'm a self-starter. I don't need accountability. But they find out pretty quick that they do. And usually when I follow up at the end with them, we get them to sign up and roll over and do a little bit more.
Absolutely, right? Like people don't realize what they need until they don't have it or until they fall off. Like everyone's motivated at the beginning. And you know what, honestly, one of the things that we were talking about before we started the recording of this podcast is you're still getting people to sign up. You're 2 weeks in of being completely virtual platform at the gym, and you're still getting nutrition only clients. And I think it goes to a couple different things. One, you guys have really built nutrition into your brand. And two, people realize they need support, accountability, and coaching especially with nutrition now more than ever, because they are completely out of their routines. Talk to me about kind of what you're doing now with offering nutrition coaching and, the clients that you've been closed for 2 weeks yet signed up for new people, which is amazing.
So I'll jump in first, Meredith, and then I'm going to let you actually tell the tale. Because there's like a story with it. But so we talked about how we started with the coaches, and that was kind of our first circle in our affinity marketing model. But Meredith has pulled in some of our seed clients to get them in nutrition and with amazing results. And these were people who didn't necessarily need to lose weight. They just wanted to find a happy balance and maintain, right? For the most part. But they were just the right connections to start connecting us with other people. And now most of our marketing is organic leads, but they're outside of the circle of our influence. So our affinity rings are getting wider and wider because our clients are talking to people. And it's pretty amazing. And then we also did, Meredith asked all of her clients, we did a 28-day challenge in January with some really, really great results. We only had 10 people total in the challenge. It wasn't a lot of people in the challenge because we had a lot of different things going on at the gym at that time. But she had 10. They all had great results. She asked them to post an outward facing post on their social media with their results. And a handful of them did it. And we got instant results from that too.
Yeah. So it started, the people outside the gym started with one client in particular. And she was so funny. I have to tell the story. When she came in, she was like, I can't track. Are you serious? I have to track my food. I'm not going to do it. And I laughed at her a little bit, but her husband was really interested. And I told him flat out, I'm like, you guys will see better results if you do this together. And that is something I hope that nutrition coaches and gyms are doing. If you can convince a couple to do it together, one, that gives you 2 nutrition clients instead of 1, but 2, they will see better results. I mean, they will, and so they did it, and she came back to me in a couple of weeks and she was like, okay, this is easy. It's not as hard as I thought. It was really funny because then, I mean, she's just been hilarious, but she reached out to people that she just shared her results. Basically, she's like, oh, I mean, just talking to them, they noticed she had lost some weight or that she was looking really good. Cause she's done great. She's had amazing results. And I can't pull it off the top of my head, but 5% body fat, 13 pounds, and she's gained a couple pounds of muscle. She's just doing fantastic and people are noticing. And so she started talking to them. And then one lady reached out to me and said, hey, I got your number from so-and-so. I would like to work with you. And I have a couple of people, my clients, that I'd like you to work with. And it's growing. And then like I said, I was trying to decide, I really wanted to do more. I want this to be bigger and better. And so after we did this challenge, which again, we had so much engagement. When you do a challenge, I don't know how everyone else is doing challenges, but I had we had our own personal challenge Facebook group, and I did little weekly challenges, and part of it was engagement. And I tell them the winning the challenge was not just on your total results, it's on your engagement and your participation in the challenges and stuff. And it was fantastic. It was great. Jill said they've run challenges there in the past and had absolutely, not really the engagement or the interaction, but I pulled in a couple regular nutrition clients into this on purpose. I asked them if they'd do this challenge, even though they were just my normal nutrition clients. And honestly, I think they're the ones that really helped with the engagement. And so it wasn't just the nutrition challenge people, it was nutrition challenge people. And I added in a couple of my regular nutrition clients for extra fun and accountability and all of that. But yeah, I reached out to all of my clients and I sent them a message and I was just like, hey guys, I would really appreciate, we've taken pictures, we've written down your results. If you wouldn't mind sharing this on your own personal social media, to help us, at this time grow our nutrition. Cause you don't have to be a member. And I think I wanted them to know that you don't have to be a member to have nutrition. And they did, they shared it. And, I started getting, requests and stuff and signed people up. And it's just been honestly right before we had to close down, I signed up 4 people. And then I have another virtual meeting today. And I had one last week, I think, or the week before, right after we'd closed, I had a virtual meeting with someone. And it's right now,
it's been awesome.
Like you said, it's been awesome, but it's all organic right now. So
with that, it too is we found other doors of opportunity that have opened. So Meredith works with a lady who owns a company, and she got us involved with some of her clients. And once we started meeting with them and talking to them, it turned out like, yes, nutrition is what brought them to us, but they might also be interested in group personal training, and they might also be interested in virtual online training. So it's opened a lot of doors and taken our little radius of influence quite a bit wider.
Which is awesome. And, people hearing from someone who's already been through it and can share their experience, same thing we were talking about with having your coaches go through it first, is such a better marketing tool than you trying to sell it from your business, right? Like if people are talking about your brand and you have multiple different people and, cross references and everyone's talking about Cobra Command nutrition, then it's just going to be easier for you guys to continue to grow at the rate that you've been growing. Jill, I want to talk about one thing. Clearly you and Meredith have a really good working relationship, and, owners that are involved with the nutrition coaches are for the most part, much more successful at growing their programs because 2 brains are better than 1, and, you guys bouncing ideas off of each other and helping. Talk to me a little bit about the relationship that you guys have together.
So not way back, when I interviewed Meredith, so this past year, our nutrition program went through a lot of ups and downs. I hired some people that were not the right fit because I felt a need to get nutrition going. But so that's the first part of all of this, is you have to find the right person who has the right passion that fits your demographic. So when I met Meredith, I was very cautious when I interviewed her because I didn't have a ton of other opportunity aside from nutrition at that point. But it was very obvious instantly that it was a good fit. So once I brought her on and we got her onboarded with HSN, then really what I did is kind of set, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Meredith, or you don't feel like I did this, but I feel like I kind of set a framework of not just like roles and responsibilities, but where I saw our program going in the future, kind of what the vision of the program was. And I had some honest discussions with her, roadmap style, like how many clients do you think you can take on your own? Are you willing to take on corporate nutrition challenges and that kind of stuff, corporate wellness? And we kind of just outlined a grand vision. And then honestly, I just stepped back and said, you tell me how you want to get us there. And then I just threw little dashes of guidance along the way. And then of course, just, we have regular meetings. We have very open communication all the time. And she runs stuff by me and I'm like, yeah, I love it. Run it. And I let her run it and let her do it her style. And that can be hard for leaders sometimes, and gym owners to give that up. But if you can, and you have the right person, that's what will make the program flourish.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I can jump in. So yeah, I agree with what she said. And I have felt supported all along the way, but I am also always been a self-starter, and I like to be in charge and I like to do my own things, but it has been so great to have somebody to bounce stuff off of. And I mean, Jill helps me see sometimes, because I'm not the owner. I don't see the bottom line, so to speak. I don't see some of these details because that's not my job. I've never been that. I've never been an owner of a gym. I don't know all of the customer management stuff that she does. And so it's nice. So sometimes she has to like give me that I won't say reality. It's not a reality check, but she'll have to give me that information that I need to do my job. And she's willing to share that, which is great. And she's willing to tell me, okay, look, and explain, well, we got to do this because of this or this or this. And I don't think always that gym owners will do that. They don't maybe share some of the stuff she does with her coaches. Even just with like, okay, so for us to be in, a profitable, we need this and this and this. And I'm just using an example. But she's very open at sharing that to me. So I know what I need to do to help the gym be successful. Because if the gym's going to be successful, I'll be successful. But also in that, from the beginning, she really, I was new to the two brain idea, when I came on board with Cobra Command, and she really talked about the intrapreneur idea and, building a business in a business. And from the minute she said that, I'm like, this is it. This is where I can grow. And this is how I, do the things that I want to do and be successful for all of us. But just honestly, having the support that from the owner, and I mean, even to, helping me with content and helping with obviously marketing and stuff. Jill does most of the marketing, all of it actually, except for the little things that I've done on my own and posts and stuff. She does the marketing, and we have someone who's helped her with that. And sometimes it's overwhelming when you try to do it all yourself. And if you put on a nutrition coach without some support like that and be like, all right, well, here, you do all the marketing and you do all the posts and you do all of this, plus coach your clients and coach the classes that you're coaching and do that. Like, I don't know that I would be successful because, one, I don't know that I'm good at that because I don't know it as well as she does. And two, it would just get really overwhelming. And so to have that support where I can do it if she needs me to. If she needs me to come up with a post or whatever, I can do that. And it just works really well, like I said, because I have the support where I can do what I do and not get overwhelmed.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you didn't realize as you were growing a nutrition program, how much stuff is actually behind the scenes beyond just the face-to-face contact with your clients, right? Even just in-person meetings, you mentioned, you're following up with clients a lot. It's not just the face-to-face meetings are now virtual calls. It's all the behind the scenes stuff and then add on marketing. We give you guys the nutrition tips and email content and all of that stuff, but it's still someone needs to push it out, right? So you guys working together to make sure that all aspects are being covered. Because, if you're talking about nutrition regularly in your social media and email content and all of those things, people are going to understand that nutrition is a part of your brand. And when people come in for free intros, they're not going to be surprised when Jill is talking to them about nutrition, right?
Yep.
Exactly. And then something we did, and this is just another way to go, and we didn't, it happened right before we did the shutdown. But I don't even think I told Jill this yet. I brought them all home. We did these goal sheets for all of our members.
Yes.
And we sent those out. Hold
on. Shout out to Jen Grinnell, because she's who told us to do this.
Yes.
Awesome.
And it was fantastic. So we had these goal sheets, and they just had like 3 things written on them, like what they were most proud of, what they wanted to achieve, and I can't remember the third one off the top of my head, but we, and then at the end said, do you want a coach to contact you with this? We did it for a couple reasons. One, so we would have a thumb, on the heartbeat of what our members want, like even programming wise, but 2, to kind of help with personal training avenues, people who want to work on muscle ups, they need some personal training sessions or clinics or something. And then
really to drive the overall plan, right? Like identify who is interested in nutrition, identify who's interested in a barbell club, identify these different things. And if we have 25 people who want to improve double unders, maybe that's a reason to do a double under clinic. If we have 25 people who want to know how to survive vacation eating, maybe we need to do a seminar. Like that's really what we were trying to get after with that.
And so I brought the ones on, we split them up right before all this went down. It was literally like the day before this all went to whatever. And I got all the ones that were nutrition, and I brought them home. I have not, but that was my plan for this week and the beginning of the next week is to reach out to those people and be like, hey, so you have these goals. We can still work on these goals, even though we're not in the gym. And that was just one more way for us to kind of start that conversation with people in the gym.
But it allowed them to start it.
Absolutely.
they're the ones who wrote it down. They're the ones who said they wanted it. So I'm just following up.
I love that idea, especially now, right? You have a whole list of people that want help that you're not able to see in a class right now, or if you guys are Zoom classes. Awesome. What is one thing that you're most proud of about the nutrition program that you built? Maybe Jill, you go first, and then Meredith, you go second.
I am most proud that nutrition is now actually the foundation of the gym. I am most proud that like nobody questions nutrition. Nobody, I haven't run into anybody who says I don't need that since we've kind of established this tried and true program. That as an owner, that's what I'm the most proud of.
I love that. And I think that is what every gym owner is kind of striving for, right? It seems overwhelming to build it, you know? Mm-hmm. You guys have done an amazing job, and obviously it's a team effort, but I'm really proud of everything you guys are doing. Meredith, what are you the most proud of?
I'm the most proud of the people that I get to help. It really is. It makes me emotional because I know how nutrition and having the right outlook on nutrition and finding a sustainable nutrition, not just something that's, extreme or fad or whatever. I personally know how that can be life-changing. And I just love that I'm reaching people and that I'm helping these people, and that it sounds crazy. I mean, it sounds so big when I say it. Sometimes I feel like it sounds like too big and whatever, but we're changing lives.
Yeah.
I mean, we are really, truly changing people's lives. And, I have people that come to me that haven't eaten carbohydrates in 2 years. And I teach them the value of that. And all of a sudden they came back and they're like, Meredith, I have so much more energy in my workouts, and I can go to that birthday party and I cannot feel like I can't have food. And these stories that I hear that they tell me, honestly, it just chokes me up and it just fills me. Like I get, like I said, I get emotional about it because I just get for me, it is so rewarding and so fulfilling to me. And I am proud that we, are reaching people outside the gym, that we are extending our reach beyond just CrossFit. Because the people that I am working with right now that are not part of the gym, it's not like they're CrossFit members somewhere else. These are people that aren't in the CrossFit world at all, probably maybe even hadn't heard about CrossFit until they started, talking to us a little bit. And that makes me proud that we're extending our reach to help people and to change people's lives and to make people better. Especially you think about in this world right now, one of the things that they're talking about with this, the COVID-19 is that obesity is an underlying health condition that is causing people issues and complications and stuff. And I hope that in some small way we're helping that,
Absolutely. And really empowering people to take control of their health. And it's not just about macros, it's about what quality food that you're fitting into your macronutrients, right? Like what kind of healthy things are you doing? And I think macros has gotten such a huge publicity with following macros, but really like you can meet your macronutrients through quality foods and not only see results, but actually fuel your body in a healthy way and, live a sustainable, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I was just going to say. Yeah, still be able to sustain your life and not be afraid to, go to that birthday party, like I said, or that go out to eat with your friends occasionally. You can still. I think it creates good habits instead of bad relationships with food.
And I think you also have to meet your clients where they're at, right? Like we do have some clients that follow macros using our plans at HQ, but then there's also people that don't even know what a macronutrient is, and we're just focusing on let's add more vegetables into your diet today.
Yes.
Like
yes, why don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, let's eat. Yeah, exactly. And one of the other things too, and I didn't really talk about it. One of these companies that I'm working for, and I think it's okay to share this. They actually. There's a couple of models that I work with, and I am so proud of the fact that I am helping them learn good nutrition, because especially in that world, and they even brought it to me, and the owner of the company brought it to me, that she doesn't want them to, they're of age and everything. It's not like I'm working with young children or anything, but she doesn't want them to have a bad relationship with food, and she's concerned about that. And for me, I'm starting these, 18, 19-year-old girls off with
a knowledge base.
And learning that they can get the results that they're looking for, and just, and maintain and have the things that they need by eating plenty of food and plenty of good food, and not having a bad relationship with food.
And I think that's the goal for every person, right? Like, with your history and I have a similar history with disordered eating habits. You want people to have a good relationship with food and understand that food is fuel, and, you don't have to be hungry all the time to lose weight. Like, you can actually eat a ton of food and still lose weight. You guys are doing an amazing job at Cobra Command. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and sharing your story, and how you've really been able to, Jill, I'm going to use your quote, really, finally, nutrition is now the foundation of your business, right? Like, people are coming into your gym knowing that nutrition is going to be a part of their plan, because you guys talk about it and you share the success of other people. And Meredith, if I've gotten anything out of this conversation with you, like, coaches need to be asking their clients to share their stories if they want nutrition only clients, right? Like, share your stories, share how we've helped you, because I know that you have some friends that are looking for the same help.
Yeah. And I reached out to them and just asked them, and nobody told me no, or nobody said, well, that's too much to ask, or I don't want to, or I think some did, but, were more willing than others, just because people can be shy and, reserved, and that's not really their thing. But if we're not asking them to share, how can we expect their results to grow and to get those organic leads?
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You guys are doing an amazing job growing your program. I'm excited to see how it continues to grow as we're on virtual platform for a little bit. And once you guys reopen your doors, how much more this continues to grow. So thank you for trusting us to help you, and you guys continue to kick some butt with nutrition.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.
I am so proud of all the hard work that Meredith and Jill are doing to not only provide their clients with the support they need through a virtual program, but how they are truly building nutrition as the foundation of Cobra Command CrossFit. Keep up the great work, ladies. As a gym owner, you have the choice to turn this obstacle into an opportunity to lead your community and empower them to stay healthy. If you are unsure where to start when it comes to building a nutrition program or providing your clients with the accountability and the support that they need to find a new normal, book a free call. We would love to help you. Go to growyournutritionbusiness.com and book a free call today.